because I've got to tell you, mate, ENCE is fucking cooked.
I know.
Turn off the oven, take them out. In fact, it's overdone. Chuck it in the bin. Bro, the joke about this team is, I mean, I have to even say, I'm not going to like exclude Glaive from this. They're not playing great Counter-Strike. The only player I'll actually give the plaudits to is Hades. Actually, fair play. This guy did actually sort of over the years rehabilitate his reputation. Actually, the more you put him on land, the more he looks good. This team looks it's in a mess, mate. It's a fucking, this team can lose to anyone right now. Anyone.
I know. And I wish I could bring some incredible spice and fire, but the problem is you're a few weeks too late. I've already given up on ENCE, and I've been vocal about it. I've already said that I thought what happened in Katowice was a one outlier event. It was an extraordinary circumstances. I thought that once they would actually get down to it and trying to build some Counter-Strike, it wouldn't work out. I said that I thought this weird combination of one incredible Danish IGL just blend in with Poles all around him made absolutely no sense. It would probably hinder the way that team actually mesh outside the server and how instinctive that can be. I never thought it made sense. I don't think it was a first intention anyway at the very inception of that team.
They said they had 12 hours to make the lineup.
Exactly. So all things considered, listen, they made the RMR, that's great. They had the Katowice run, that's great. I think it's time. Just reconsider.
I'll tell you the obvious thing you have to do, Maniac. You know, everyone's loving that ENCE every year. We're making money. It's time to take those millions of dollars for the stickers and the millions of dollars for the sales. I'm not saying spend it all. You're not FaZe Clan or G2. But you know what? It's time to reinvest some. Buy a couple of players. You can get out of this mess.
Yeah, exactly. So what you're saying is, out of the two possible roles that they have, one being obviously you go full Polish and that's it, or you go international. You would have to go international.
I'm going international. Come on.
Yeah, but that would mean you better have the pockets. Because if we were struggling to find who else would take the spots, like let's put the problem in a different perspective. Who currently would actually decide to leave their team to go to a ENCE that is rebuilding? Like,
well, here's the scenario I'll tell you, the way people don't realize. This is where ENCE's mini gamble paid off twice, and they tried to go for a third. Like, they got greedy, the gambler's fallacy, right? I won twice. I can keep winning. Twice they gambled. One was because they probably had personal connections to the players and they'd made it with that last end squad. They really did let those fucking guys wait until the 11th hour to be like, I'm taking the other deal and leave. Because they hoped all of them would stay. They hoped fucking Snappy would stay, some Pius would stay. Apparently, I've been told they had the money to match. They could say, look, if you guys love it here so much, we can make it work. We can even match what those big orgs are offering you. And in doing so, there's gamble number one. You wasted months and months, and at the end, you had nothing. Or you had the money, but the money doesn't get you in a majors. So then, gamble number two, in 12 hours or whatever it was, you got this makeshift Polish squad, and somehow you qualified to the major and got a little run at Katowice. Now, do you go, you know what you're supposed to say if you gamble? Quit while you're ahead. They didn't. They went, you know what? We're geniuses. This is that we've actually figured, you don't know, we've, some dark arts. We figured out, actually, 4 Polish players, like some 9-9 players plus Glaive is the secret formula to, like, it's like one of those fucking bad ads on the internet, analysts hate them. They're doing like 100% results guaranteed. Like, add 4 Danes to your legendary Danish IGL mix and it'll work. So the problem they have now is, like, look, you got a lot from it. You got the millions from the major. You got the fucking category. Quit while you're ahead. Pick the players that, you know what? I think actually Hades can stay. He can stay, mate. Got Hades, I've got Glaive. Pick another player. Do you prefer Goofy to Kyler? I can trade on this one. We can have some negotiation. I'll tell you what, though, even though I liked him in ENCE, Diha not only knows he's in trouble in those interviews, he is in trouble, mate. In these games, he doesn't look comfortable. He doesn't look like he's in his spots, and he is not the player he wants. He used to be the player where everyone used to tell you he's the sleeper carry of the team. Like, if you knew what he was doing and how he has to play, like, his talent level's so insane. He's the one I heard that, like, when he used to be in the teams, that he was the big fish in the small pond, and he had people like Snacks back in his teams back in the day. He was the ego monster, sort of like, give me this, let me do that. You're not playing well enough. Mate, he's going to get fired from his job right now. It's sad, but it's going to happen. Yeah. He's going to be one of the people, certainly, that gets this cut. So if I'm them, you don't have to, listen, I'm not, like I said, I'm not saying spend it all. That'd be stupid. That's not the org you are. But you know what? This is where, by the way, also, you've got Cuban, you've got Glaive. These people have the eye test, boys. Go out there in the transfer market and you pick up your wrinkle. You pick up a guy who has some talent, but not every big org's going after him. You spend a little bit and you know that, like, look, maybe all he has is fragging. We're going to shape him. But I tell you what, you got the coach, you got the IGL. Let's bring these talents in. Let's start shaping the squad, because you only need like a couple of pieces and we can have another conversation.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think this would be the healthier road they can go. And I also think that, unfortunately for Glaive, I think all of the losses right now in ENCE are tarnishing his current sort of credit. But I don't think it's rightful. Like, I know the Counter-Strike that ENCE has played and some of the absolute tragedy of sides they've already had here at Pro League. Oh my God. Like, sometimes they would just lose like 8, 9, 10 rounds in a row, and it looked dog shit in terms of like the Counter-Strike purely. I don't think you can just say, oh, well, that's just Glaive calling a bad game of Counter-Strike. I just think either he has a couple of bad ideas, or also they just don't have the depth in the playbook currently, or they don't have individuals who want to play the Counter-Strike he wants to play. Like, it is so hard. So people need to understand, like, there has to be also an accord between the team and the leader on how you want to play Counter-Strike. And this is how we're going to come back into a game. And this is what we're going to do in map control. And this is how much space I'm going to give you guys, how much freedom I'm going to give you guys. It doesn't look like it's working. And I'm not just going to say, oh, Glaive is a misunderstood leader here. He's so great. Everybody is just feeling him. No, I'm also not just going to say he's fucking worth giving away. I just think it's not working. This isn't working. Whatever is happening here is not working. Just go your separate ways. But what I will say is that if you look at the people who have been winning, the leaders who have been winning in the last few months, or even like a year and a half of Counter-Strike, these are all veterans. The leaders that have been winning are all veterans, almost without a single exception.
Even Chopper, people don't know. Mega veteran, yeah.
Chopper is a veteran. He's been winning. Alexibi is winning. Apex has been winning. These are old school players. The only one exception to the rule is, you could argue Hooksy is a bit fresher in Greener in his endeavor.
And he hasn't won in a while, mate.
And he hasn't won in a while. So that's like the only sort of exception to the rule. Otherwise, like Carrigan, Alexibi, Chopper, Apex, like these are, like, you think you need new blood in Counter-Strike. Sure, you need. I think every team needs a little bit of that hunger and the new blood and the mechanics that what the new generation can do, who the older probably can't. Yeah, I'm cool with that. But you need to have experience. You need to have veterancy. And believe it or not, even if Counter-Strike is different now than it was 5 years ago, how you win at its core isn't that different. How you behave as a team, how you are a winner, how you behave as a winner, how you learn. That goes beyond just what is the meta of Counter-Strike right now. And that's why these leaders are valuable. That's why I'm never going to put away Glaive. Like, his numbers could keep dropping. If I know, and that's a big if, but if I know he's hungry, I'm not giving up on him. I won't. Until someone tells me that actually he's just coasting and doesn't give a fuck and he just wants to get some money, then yeah, get out the way. But if that's not his attitude, I'm not giving up on him. I know. He has my credit for as long as it needs to be.
I'll go one further, mate. This is where you actually, as an org, incredibly cynically, should lean on Glaive's reputation. Bro, I might not have G2 Vitality money, but do you want to play with Glaive? Bro, that's a fucking sale. You can't all tell me, guys, that I'm supposed to believe Furia signs Fallen. Like, but he's a legend. Mate, Glaive was fucking still top when Fallen was already washed as an IGL. Like, if people will want to play with Fallen and bring him in all these teams, surely some up-and-comer wants to play with Glaive. Surely they look at that guy and go, I want to be the next star that plays with this guy. I mean, I'll give you one. Look, again, sadly, if you know, like, circumstances, I'm sure there's reasons he couldn't do this. But I'll tell you one person immediately, if I was ENCE, I'd be ringing the fucking phone for. Bro, imagine if you brought Xantares in.
Okay. I see what you're doing.
You know what I mean? That would be fire, mate. I can do a lot. Give Glaive Xantares. Remember, Xantares is a fucking mega aggro player as well. Give him that piece.
Why not send Xantares to Liquid instead of Yikimar?
Why not? I don't hate it. By the way, Xantares is good enough. I'll take him on a lot of these teams. Yeah,
holy shit.
This guy's money.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Why not, right? Yeah, again, I don't know if he can leave because they've sort of like, they have built like, there's almost like a nationalistic component to Eternal Fire of like, it's the Turkish super team and we're all going to do it together and believe it. It actually reminds me when the Brazilians came up. So the problem is, I don't know if you're like a traitor if you leave or some bullshit. If we're doing normal football manager though, he's a great signings, right? He's a mega eligible player. And he's experienced. It's like we're saying, he's not 18. I know this guy's going to shoot people in the head with an AK. I've seen him do it for years.
Yeah, that would. I was outside the box. I didn't think of
Yeah.
it, but you're right.
I mean, I have
And
to.
think-
Who else can I get? I can't fucking sign Flames. Kind of like
No.
I have to sign someone who's good, but in a spot where they're sort of overqualified, right?
I wonder about Heavy God from OG.
That's
I
not
think
a
he's
bad
on my
one
radar.
too.
He's on my radar. Yeah,
cooking.
like something might be going on with him where like in a year or a year and a half, we might go back and say, oh my God, these were the first few steps. Like it was right there in front of our eyes. He's got something. So that could be a sign. But I agree. I think Glaive has to be an argument. Like if I had that when I was coming up as a player, that I had a few IGLs I was looking up to, and I was like, oh, the concept, the idea of playing with them, holy shit, I'm going to learn so much. It's going to be so great. I think it's got to be used as an argument if you're ENCE and if you're rebuilding, because let's face it, their decisions have to be made.
See more cool, funny, interesting clips based on topics from my content? Well, subscribe to this channel then, or, be a pleb and don't.